Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. So today's practice is going to be all about holding space. And so at the time of this recording and teaching, Florida, the state of Florida, in the United States has Hurricane Ian. I'm getting ready to hit them head on. So I would like to hold space for that. Now, if that doesn't resonate with you, but you need to hold space for someone or something else, please continue to come back to that and let that be your intention today, or just compassion for other people. So that being said, we will go ahead and get started. Now, I've got a couple blocks here. We probably will use these at the end for those of you that are not going to go into the snail or the plow pose. This can be used, a block or two can be used as a modification, but I've got a bolster and I've got a couple blankets. So we'll get started. So finding a nice comfortable seat, think about lengthening from crown to tail, zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin. And just come into the practice. Just notice for a moment as you settle and begin to turn inward. We'll come into a little bit more of a calming breath. We'll do a few rounds of the box breathing. So we'll use the number 4 today. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. We'll do about 4 rounds of that. So big exhale to prepare. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Return to normal breath, fingertips to the side. Palms up, inhale and reach, maybe look up there at those hands. Exhale, hands in heart center. So intention today is holding space for either the state of Florida and the people there, or for something else, with compassion for other people. And once you have that set, we'll inhale, take it up, turning palms away and grow taller. Good. From here, just get a nice little side bend from each side here. And we'll do a deeper one in a moment. We're just loosening things up a little bit. Good. And then just gentle rotation from side to side. Good. Now let's take that into some circles. So hands are going to be right on the knees or the shins, wherever it is you can reach, and just take some rolls. Kind of use the arms and the knees as a little bit of a leverage. Good. And then we'll take that in the opposite direction. Good. And then when you're ready, good. Let's come into our first seated twist. So this is going to be a deer variation. So if you are somewhat familiar with the Pilates Z, it looks very similar. I'm going to start excuse me, by taking my feet towards my left side. Now I've got my right leg here. This is my right foot. This is my left side here. If that doesn't work for you, just kind of sit and tuck or whatever that you need to do. And if that still doesn't work for you, knees, hips, don't want to do that, just come to a basic crisscross applesauce here. Just be mindful as to which leg is on the top and which leg is on the bottom. So from here, let's take a big inhale. Exhale, we're going to twist towards the feet side, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit behind you. And we'll do this one for a couple minutes, breathing and expanding, and see if you can move the head around to where you get a nice stretch right through here. So taking this front shoulder back a little bit will help get in there a little bit more as well. Big breaths. So as a reminder, in any twist, we want the spine to be long. You should be able to expand the rib cage and no cranking through the low spine. And if you need to back off just a little bit and then come back into it, you can always do that. So holding space for our brothers and sisters down in Florida, those that just got hit with Cuba, Puerto Rico, and then from here, good, we'll carefully come out of there. Good, and we're just gonna take that right into the other side. So we're just gonna take the feet to the other side now. Now again, if you need to do crisscross applesauce, just switch out your feet. Sit how you need to sit. And then when you're ready, good, nice and tall, good. Take that twist towards the feet. So now you're going in the opposite direction that you did before. Hands, arms can be anywhere you need them to be for support. Think about the front shoulder coming back so you can get a little bit of a deeper stretch down that neck. Holding space for compassion. And from here, we'll carefully come out of there. Good. So from here, I'm just going to come into a nice crisscross applesauce again. And I'm just going to kind of do a little rotation and then maybe take some neck circles here. And maybe in the opposite direction. Good. All right. We're going to come into some side bending here. So I'm going to take my left leg out to the side and bring my right foot in. Now I'm sitting up on a blanket. So if you need to sit up on something, please do so. So again, not your widest. So give your body a little bit of space to move. Good. Big inhale and reach. Exhale. Good. We'll take that side bend towards the left. Breathe and expand. And notice if you have a tendency to kind of roll forward. And if you did, could you open up to the side? Breathe into the side heart space. So sometimes when we're watching coverage on TV and we wonder why people don't evacuate or pack up and leave, maybe have some compassion there for that decision. Even if it may not be the one that you would make, packing up and leaving means they have to leave their whole lives and mostly of what they own behind them to unknown ends. And that can be very hard. Good. Hips stay grounded. Breathe and expand. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully come up out of there. Good. And we're going to take that right to the other side. So now I'm going to take my right leg out, left foot in. Good. When you're ready, big inhale, exhale, nice little side bend. Breathe and expand. And again, notice any habit patterns. Did you roll forward? Could you open a little bit? Good. Breathing into the heart space here. And so sometimes people don't leave because they're afraid of looting. If they survive, they're afraid of looting. Maybe holding space, thoughts, prayers, energies, that no looting will take place. Good. And then from here, carefully coming out of there. Good. So let's come into a supine Baddha Konasana, but not supine, a seated Baddha Konasana. So I'm going to take the soles of the feet together here. Careful that the heels are not too close into the groin. And if you're really tight in the hips, you'll know that because the knees want to jack up a little bit. If you've got multiple blankets, you can fill in that space. Blankets or pillows are going to be a little bit more comfortable. If you don't have that, but you've got a couple blocks, I recommend taking your blocks at an angle and letting the knees kind of rest on that, because if you kind of put them this way, which do work, it's kind of a sharp edge and it's not as comfortable. So I'm actually going to do this one here because I need to sit up on my other blanket. So from here, good. Big inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward. We'll be here for 3 minutes. Try to keep a long spine. We'll also remember too, props can support you as you come in, but as the body opens up on its own, you may not need the props or as much support. So feel free to play with that in your practice. And so coming back to holding space for Florida, and for the safety and security of all. So some might ask why Florida when there's also other things going on. You can always hold space, for example, Ukraine and the Russians that are fighting back and don't want to fight against the Ukrainians and all that kind of stuff. Florida is on my heart because I know many, many people there, including my best friend of 36 years. So that's why I've chosen Florida, but you can choose anything you want. Come back to breath. Come back to the space that you're holding. And from here, carefully, carefully, carefully come out of there. All right, we're gonna come into a cow face here, just because I forget the name of it in Yin, but we call it Gomukhasana cow face in a Vinyasa or Hatha style class. So I'm gonna start with my left leg being on the bottom, and we're just gonna kind of bring that foot forward. Now, different things for different people. Some of you will, some of you might not be able to cross the right leg over. Now, ideally, you want the knees to be in alignment. As you can see, I'm not quite there, but you do want both hips grounded. So if that doesn't work for you, then you can always just crisscross applesauce again and do the upper body eagle arms in the fold if you're going to take that. So meet yourself where you are. Good. And from here, So I've got my left leg on the bottom, my right leg is on the top. I'm going to take my right arm on the top. So remember, you can hug yourself or you can wrap yourself here. And about halfway, I'll give you an option to fold forward if you would like to do that. So holding space, whether that's for Florida or something else, they are worthy of love and support. They are worthy of love and support, regardless of the decisions that they make. So we're about at the halfway point now, so you can choose to stay where you are, make a different adjustment, or you can choose to fold forward. Now remember, if you've got your knees in front of you, you won't be able to forward or fold. The correct word is fold, real deep, but that's okay. Shoelace. Shoelace is what's this called in Yin. Took me almost the full time here, but I finally remembered it. It is shoelace. And if you took a fold, carefully come back up and undo. Good, undo those legs. You can take them long, you can shake them out. If you need to do a little windshield wiper, you can take that as well. And then we're gonna set that up for the other side. So now I'm gonna take the right leg on the bottom, left leg on top. Good. So you want both hips to be grounded. And as you can see, I'm actually farther away from that knee alignment on this side than the other. That's okay. Crisscross applesauce is also okay. Just switch out which leg is on in front or on top. And when you're ready, I've got my left leg on top. So my left arm is going to be on top. Give yourself a hug or a wrap. Sitting as tall as you can to start. Coming back to holding space and the heart space. We're about at the halfway point, so make any adjustments if you need to, or maybe take that little fold. Breathe. Good. Carefully coming out of there and release. Take any little counter or break move that you need to do. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to come onto our bellies. So we're going to come belly down. Let's move these out of the way here for a little bit. So we're going to come into a seal or a Sphinx pose. Sphinx is for people who want to either follow me or you need to be a little bit lower to the ground. Seal is for people that are okay and want to come a little bit higher. So I'll demo those real quick. So here's your Sphinx. You're pressing away, shining the heart forward. And then here's your seal. Okay. So wherever you're going to go here, legs are going to be hip width apart and we don't want to crunch into the low spine. We'll do this one for a couple minutes. So from here, whenever you're ready, take your Sphinx, take your seal, rolling shoulders back, belly button is in. Try to relax the glutes a little bit here. So I have a tendency to tighten them up. See if you can relax them a little bit. Try not to hang in the shoulders. So holding that heart space, the compassion for others. Good. From here, carefully come down. Take a little recovery position and just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle the hips. And then from here, when you're ready, good. we're going to lie down on the back. Now I'm going to have my kind of props in place here for snail as I need them. So I'm just going to maybe move these up a little bit to the side. Okay. So we'll come onto the back. And once we come onto the back, let's stretch the hamstrings just a little bit here, because sometimes I think snail or the plow pose just does a little bit better when we're a little bit more open there. So I'm going to leave a bend in the right knee. Take your hands behind the left leg and let them travel up as high as they can go. Good. And then just give a little tug in and maybe a point and flex through that foot. And while you're here, maybe make the most of it. Take some little circles. Good. And then when you're ready, back off a little bit. Have that left hand somewhere on the outside of that leg. Now, if you can reach for the foot or yogi toe, that's great too. Take your hand where you need the support and just bring it out to the side for a moment. Both hips will stay grounded. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll bring that back up and release. We'll take that into the other side. So now you can keep a bend in the left knee. We're going to take our hands behind the right leg, let them travel up as high as they can go. Gentle tug in, maybe pointing and flexing with the foot. And maybe rolling the ankle in one direction and the other. And then from here, just back off a little bit. Take that right hand where you need to take it for your support. Both hips stay grounded. Take that leg out to the right. It's a little bit too much there. And we'll come back in. Good. So from here, I'm actually going to scoot down just a little bit. So we're going to go into the plow or the snail. For those of you that you know that maybe you've got neck issues and taking feet and legs behind you is not a good idea. You can take even a bolster, a folded blanket, a block or two, good, and just put them right underneath the tailbone here. Oh, I'm not going to be able to fit two under there. Good. So you can fit them under the tailbone here. Good. And then one leg at a time, just kind of take that up. So this is kind of it's a modified legs up the wall, but it's a nice little relaxing inversion, which is what snail and plow is. So if that's not for you, you can get your nice little inversion just being right here, a lot less risk. So for those of you that are going to follow me into plow and get my timer ready here, this is going to be for 2 minutes. And if your feet don't touch behind you, have something back there. Don't let your feet do a bouncy bounce back there. That's dangerous. And whenever you're ready, good, take it back. Find your shoulder stand, find your length. Good. And then you can hinge back. Now, you don't want to be on the neck, the weight's in the shoulders. So how do you know if you're on your neck? When it's going to be uncomfortable. Your head might even feel uncomfortable. If you feel that bone at the base of the
neck popping out, which will also be uncomfortable. That's also the cue that you've gone back too far. Press the shoulders and the elbows into the floor. You're still breathing here, even though you're a little bit crunched. If something starts to not feel right, take that as the cue that you need to come out of here. This is one of the riskier moves that we do in Yin Yoga. Good, and then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully roll out of there. Good. Once you're completely out, just rock, rock, rock side to side. Gently take head and neck for side to side. Great. We're going to end with a nice supine twist to each side. And we're going to do this one leg. So if you know that you can't keep your leg in alignment or like wants to do funny things and your knee doesn't like that, have a bolster or a block or something handy for that to rest on so that won't happen. But when you're ready, let's take the right leg long, bend that left knee in, maybe give it a few little tugs. Good. And then right hand's going to come on the outside of that left thigh. We're going to twist to the right. Good. Support anything that needs support. And we'll be here for a couple minutes. Maybe looking to the left. Coming back to that holding space. The compassion for other people. Good, and when you're ready, carefully come back to center. Just kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle a little bit here, and we'll switch sides. So now the left leg's gonna come long, the right knee's gonna come in, give it a few little tugs here. Good. And then left hand's going to come on the outside of that right thigh. Good. We will twist to the left. Good. Support yourself with anything that you may need. Maybe looking to the right. 2 minutes. And from here, when you're ready, carefully coming back to center. Good. Just kind of wiggle something out that needs to be wiggled out. Taking knees back into the chest, maybe lifting the upper body. And when you're ready, good. Set yourself up for a nice Shavasana here. I'm going to take my bolster and just take it underneath. Good. And then when you're ready, just kind of settle in. Try to make yourself about 10% more comfortable than where you are right now. Dropping into the heart space, the seat of compassion, holding that space for those that need it. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness or bending knees into the chest Choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness, removing any props out of the way that you may have used during Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you. Reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here, and when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we started our practice. Noticing how you feel. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale and reach, touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Reconnecting with that intention, holding that heart space for others, for those in Florida, one more time. We'll take our thumbs to our forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, week ahead. Namaste.